guys, this is Holly from Green Holly Photography, here with you from the Detroit Foundation Hotel. Today we're talking about second photographers. The biggest question that I get is, do I need a second photographer? And really, that is going to depend on you and your day and your specific needs. So the first reason is if the girls and the guys are getting ready at two different locations and you both need getting ready photos at the exact same time. It's impossible for me to be at two places at once, so you would need a second photographer to photograph the guys while I'm photographing the girls. The second reason is if you wanted multiple angles. So first of all, that would mean at the church during the ceremony. If you have a large church where I cannot get from one side of the church to the next while you're doing your vows or exchanging rings, those sorts of things, it might be good to have two photographers so that one person can be, let's say, on the left hand of the church or left side of the church, getting photos of the bride's face while she's saying her vows. I can be on the other side getting photos of the groom's face while he's saying his vows. So you're getting both from both directions. It also gives you perhaps a second angle from the balcony. If a second photographer can sneak up to the balcony for a couple of minutes while I'm on the main floor, that's often something I can't do by myself. You'll also get multiple angles in the way of more candid shots. So let's say I'm setting up a group shot of all the girls together and the groom and the groomsmen are over there being crazy, having fun behind me. I can't photograph both at the same time. So if I'm photographing the girls, making them look all pretty, the second photographer can be over my shoulder, grabbing the guys that are behind me, cracking somebody up, doing something silly, drinking beers, who knows what they're doing. The third reason is to get the reception detail shots. So let's say we've done the ceremony, we've done the family photos, and I am out with the wedding party, photographing you, getting all your beautiful pictures done. I cannot be to the reception to take photos of the reception room empty while the cocktail hour is going on. So right after the ceremony, I would essentially send my second photographer to get all the detail shots while I'm finishing up shots with the wedding party. Number 4 is kind of like I was saying with the reception detail shots. The second photographer can also photograph your guests during cocktail hour. So again, while I'm photographing the family, photographing your post photos, they can be photographing your detail shots as well as your cocktail hour and your guests kind of mingling and having fun there. The last reason you might want a second photographer is for an emergency situation. I know a lot of photographers, so if I were sick, let's say a week or so before, I would most likely have someone set to go to your wedding to replace me. If, however, it was an emergency situation, such as I got into an accident on the way to your wedding, I was incapacitated, something that really prevented me from coming to your wedding at the very last minute. Again, these are extremely rare circumstances, but let's say it did happen. A second photographer would be there for your wedding day, so they could just stay longer and do the whole day for you. So at least you would have a photographer there set for you for your whole day. So the only reason not to have a second photographer really would be for budget. There's no reason that having only one is better than having two. Budget, however, is a huge issue for most people. So if it's something that you feel like you could really cut out having a second person to save some money, I can probably do the day for you with only one person. I shoot 90% of weddings alone, so I've gotten well used to that. Let's say your wedding and reception were at this exact same spot all day. I can easily sneak over to the guys' room for getting ready pictures. I can easily get the decor pictures early on in the day, maybe before your ceremony. Things like that to kind of work around having to have two people there. So there's one myth that goes around, and that is that you cannot get the bride coming down the aisle and the groom's reaction at the same exact time with only one photographer. That again is wrong. So the way that I do it is I stand near the front, photograph the bride coming down the aisle with her father or whoever is escorting her, move to the left, photograph the groom and his reaction, move back to the bride and her dad, move back to the groom. So you're basically just doing a small shift with your body to get both reactions. Hopefully that has cleared up some of the questions that you may have had about whether or not you need a second photographer. Again, I photograph about 90% of weddings by myself, so second photography is absolutely not a must. However, there are a lot of bonuses to having two people versus just one, so it is something to think about. All right, thank you.